In today's video, I would like to introduce a very nice problem of Math Olympiad that was suggested by viewer. Here is the following information. We have two groups, M as a capital M and capital A. So first group, the numbers are run from number 1 through N as a natural numbers. The second group, we have also natural numbers run from E sub 1 through E sub M in M such that M is a natural number excludes 0. Okay, the second group belongs to the first group, which means the first group is more powerful than the second group. Okay, for any B there exists E sub I and E sub J in group A, which is this one. Okay, such that we have 1 is inferior to I is inferior to J is inferior to M. Okay, all are the natural numbers. So the second condition, we have B equals X is multiplied by E sub I plus Y is multiplied by E sub J, where is X and Y from this interval. Okay, which means X and Y are between -1 and 1. Okay, X and Y are not natural numbers, are the real numbers. So the question, find the maximum N. First of all, we know A from this group M. Okay, which means all these values from E sub 1 through E sub M are in the first group, but we don't know their values. Okay, so the first group, we know the values from 1 through N, but these one are unknown values. Okay, so it could be have E sub 1 equals 3, E sub 2 equals N, we don't know yet. Okay, but the sum of these numbers equals the sum of these numbers. Also, the product of these numbers equal the product of these numbers, which means I will have the sum of these numbers as k run from 1 to the n. Okay, equals these values. Okay, but the problem, so these values is combining between E sub I and E sub J. Okay, so there is a certain numbers it comes from E sub I and there's certain numbers it comes from E sub J, but the sum of these numbers equals, so which means the sum of these values E sub I as I is superior to 1 plus the sum of E sub J. This is the first information that I'm going to use. Okay, I'm going to see this one for later. So the second information, we know B equals X is multiplied by E sub I plus Y is multiplied by E sub J. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to apply the absolute value here on both sides. And then we know the formula. This one is always inferior to absolute value of X E sub I plus absolute value of Y E sub J. Okay, the reason why I'm using the absolute value, because we have X and Y are from -1 to the 1. Okay, we want to keep them positive. Since E sub I as a natural number, which means a positive, I'm going to write this one as absolute value of X is multiplied by E sub I plus absolute value of Y is multiplied by E sub J. Okay, and also we know absolute value of X is inferior to 1 and absolute value of 1 is inferior to 1, as we have here under this condition. Okay, so which means the whole thing will be inferior equal to E sub I plus E sub J, like this. Okay, so by taking off the absolute value because B is a natural number, so we'll have B is inferior to E sub I plus E sub J, like this. For the next condition, we have B from this set. Okay, M, so which means B is always between number 1 and N. Okay, like this. Okay, following sequence by using the recursion here. So we'll have B is inferior or equal to E sub 1 plus E sub 2, because these values are different, E sub I and E sub J. Okay, So E sub I represent, for example, E sub 1, E sub G represent E sub 2, like this, okay? So for the following values, I will have, for the following inequality, I will have B is inferior equal E sub 2 plus E sub 3, like this. This one keeps going all the way down to the B is inferior equal to E sub M minus 1 plus E sub M, okay? So we'll have the following inequality. So by adding term by term, if you take a look carefully here, this E sub 2 run from E sub 2, this A run from E sub 2 to E sub M, which means I have n minus 1 n terms, okay? So we'll have this one will have n minus 1 terms. So by adding this one together, I will get here B is multiplied by n minus 1 is inferior equal to, by summing this one, I will have the sum of A, as A is super equal to 1, of A sub I. The second sum I will have as J is super equal to 2 of A sub G, like this, okay? For this one equals to this one, as you have it here. This sum, the sum of K, as K goes from 1 to the N. So there is a special formula for this one, which equals N is multiplied by N plus number 1 over 2, okay? It's very known formula. It's very known triangle formula, okay? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to divide both sides by N minus 1. So for this condition, N must be strictly superior than 1, okay? Like this. Because here, N is representing this one, okay? As we have here. Because we are dividing by N minus 1, we must keep N strictly superior than number 1. So I have ended with this following inequality. So let's call this one statement number 1, statement number 2, statement number 3. By taking both statements together, I will have B is inferior or equal to 1 and N, like this. So as we know, we are looking for the maximum number of N. So we have B is between number 1 and N. Also, we have B between number 1 and N, okay? Like this, okay? So this one is telling us this one, in order to get a maximum number, we must keep this number equals to N, okay? This one is telling us N is multiplied by N plus number 1 over 2 is multiplied by N minus 1 equals N, okay? Since N, we keep N strictly superior than number 1, I'm going to cancel out number N from the left and the right. So I will have here N by crossing multiplication, I will have N plus number 1 equals 2. 2 is multiplied by N minus 1. This one is giving us 2N minus 2. Okay? So by taking N to the right and taking minus 2 to the left, I will have the following numbers. I will have N equals 3. Okay? Like this. So the maximum number of this one is number 3. The max number N maximum is 3. So I have ended with this video. If you have any question or suggestion, just put it in the comment section below. Don't forget to support us with your like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I will see you next video. Bye.